Forward button.
Live on YouTube. Choose an account. This is that one. Go live private. How does that work?
Okay. Oh, it says content is sent to a third party. Who's a third party?
I'm guessing YouTube. So
you're recording too?
Yes, I'm also recording.
Right, we are live, I think.
I think we are live.
I see a new little thing up on the screen.
My other screen is showing that it's this. Okay, welcome. Okay, we got Kat and Jack. Hi, y'all. And okay, let's see. Maybe it's. Oh, there we go. Now it's showing me the live. I'm like, it's not showing me live yet. Hey, guys. So Judy and I are just going to chat for a little bit while you guys all get gathered in here. We've got a lot of questions and we're going to change things up today. Judy is so excited about that. I'm going to channel for an hour and then Judy's going to channel for an hour. We're going to get to as many of these questions as we can because there's a lot of questions. So if you guys all come on in here, that'll be fun to have you guys with us here live. And I love this. One of the listeners is, why am I here? And I actually was thinking that was a question. Oh, we're not taking questions live. Okay, so you guys were all very nice and you sent us the questions. We have them and we're ready for you. We're going to do this. But before we do, I'm going to talk about Egypt and the one coming up in January. And Judy, you have a level 1 companion class coming up. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. It's in mid-August, actually. I think it's the 16th to the 18th. You caught me on the hop there. Yes, it is.
So this is for QHHT practitioners, level 1 companion class. Now, I want to say to that, a lot of you guys, now that things are online for learning QHHT, you guys do that a little different than we used to. We used to take level 1, and then we could take the level 1 companion class. That was optional. And then we would take level 2 once we got 25 clients under our belt. Now that is online, you can take level 1 and level 2, and really you don't have to have any clients under your belt yet. So the level 1 companion class, they should take level 1 out of it. It should just be companion class or some other fancy name for it, because it's really for level 1 and 2 practitioners, especially for the interns. Please consider Judy's course. And is it 3 days?
It's 3 days, yeah. It's 3 days, and it's an excellent opportunity to put your skills in the order in which they should be, and to fine-tune how you conduct a QHHT session. But not only that, you get to have a session, you get to facilitate a session, and you get to discuss that in great detail afterwards. And that is so important. The results from doing a companion course in confidence in people going out and doing sessions is amazing. So strongly recommend that you build that into the whole process of studying QHHT. And, you know, there's plenty of practitioners around the world that are offering the course. It's only conducted by level 3 practitioners, but they're happening all around the world. So
yeah. So QHHTofficial.com is where you would go to find a companion class. I'm going to take level 1 out. I'm going to do it my way. But that's where you would find the companion class, and highly recommend everyone that puts them on. They're just brilliant, and all of you guys as teachers is amazing. It's wonderful. So hello to everybody out here. We're going to do some shout outs and then I'll talk about Egypt real quick. So we got Kat and Jack, we got Kaylee, we got Nicole, we got Carol, Sherry, Sierra, Manu. Hopefully I say that right.
There's some tricky names today.
I haven't read through any of these questions, so when it's my turn to read the questions, I already told Judy, I hope I don't butcher it. I'm sorry, because sometimes I'm going to become out of channeling and then I'm going to be expected to read. So it's spiritual disco. Hi back. And let's see, Kathy, I think Edward, Brian, Northern Lights. It's good to see you guys. I think I said Kaylee, but I'll say it again just in case I did not. And all right, we're gonna start talking. So Egypt, a lot of you guys know that I went to Egypt in April, and absolutely, that was my first trip there. So transformational. We did channeling in the temples, which we had to pay people off to do that, but we're willing to do that again. And but we had the best guides. We had such an amazing time. We went to so many temples. We got really amazing things were happening there. In the channels that we got, we were anchoring divine feminine and divine masculine, and the way that that happened when we were in the temples was, it was like we were in the Isis temple, and it just naturally flowed for us to just be in divine feminine. And then the message was, we're going to also anchor divine masculine, and we would know when to do it. And so we're all just like, okay, well, we got to go into Osiris's chamber, and all of a sudden it was like, wham, this is where you're going to anchor masculine. And so we got all the men together. I'm getting so many bumps. We got all the men together, and they formed a circle, and the women stood outside of that circle in this chamber that we were in, and they anchored divine masculine. It was beautiful. We had such an amazing time. It was you know, everybody that goes gets an experience there, and if I have anything to do with it, as Judy knows, I'm gonna be like, your turn, you go. And so I did maybe a little bit of that. And so it's an extraordinary trip. The way that Laura Mitri has this designed is the last stop is the King's Chamber in Giza, in the temple, or in the pyramid. And it is so perfect because we are all so connected by that point. This, just the energy that we created in the King's Chamber was amazing. We felt like we didn't have enough time, so this time around, this time is going to be in January. We're going to have 4 hours in the King's Chamber this time. We're going to have time with the Sphinx. We're going to have more time by the Red Sea, because that is, oh my gosh. I never knew, Judy, I never knew how beautiful Egypt was. I was just like, wait, nobody said it was like this. You know, it's like you always see the deserty pictures, and that's there too. But there's so much beautiful tropical palm trees and greenery, and there's lush areas, and then there's the deserty areas, and they've actually, over in that area, there was lots of bodies of water, and it was such a journey. Anyways, I encourage everybody to check it out. We're going in January, doing the same trip. We added more time in the King's Chamber, and we added another day at the Red Sea, because that's where we went snorkeling and scuba diving. And we're just going to have a free day there, because the resort we stay in is fabulous, and we were so busy, none of us got to enjoy the resort. And it was like, just sitting under their canopies and drinking their fun little fruit drinks, and you got this turquoise water in front of you, and it's just amazing. So I encourage you guys to go check it out. It is the trip of a lifetime. And so that's what I got to say about that. Now, I do have a surprise announcement that we are also, Laura and I are also going to do a workshop in Hawaii. We just talked about it yesterday. There is a space in Hilo, Hawaii that we are working with, where it's going to be all inclusive. So you'll get your flight there, but then the package, they come pick you up at the airport. You're going to have your meals. There's lodging there. And then we'll do our workshop, but then there's also little side things that this place does, like massages and sound healing stuff and different things like that. So Laura's working on that package deal right now, but Hawaii is also going to be on the radar, and that's going to be probably the later part of August if it's available. And my concern was Hawaii in August, won't that be hot? And she said, no, Hawaii stays the same temperature year round. So this particular part of Hawaii, she goes, you can find any weather you want on this island. You could go up high to the volcano and find snow, or you can go down to the water and be hot. But the Hilo side, and where this location is not going to be the heat. So it's going to be perfect. So that's going to probably be in August. That all being said, I think I'm done with my announcements. Do you have anything else? Do you have anything else?
No, I'm just contemplating how that potentially could fit in with my own travel plans in September.
Ooh. So very nice, wonderful. All right, so we've got quite a few people listening right now, so I guess this is where we could plunge in. I am going to set my timer for 1 hour, and when it beeps, then I'm going to come back, and then Judy is going to go in. And you guys have not had the gift of, Judy will participate in the answers once in a while, but we're going to bring her into a channel this time. We're going to bring in the commander, and we're going to see what the commander has to say.
There's
So I'm going to get
like
many of these.
thrown at the deep end.
We're going to get through as many of these as we can, you guys. That is our goal. There's some really, I haven't read through all the questions, but there's some really good questions in here. And so we'll see how many of them we can get to. And as always, even if you didn't get your question read, there's always information in everyone's question, I think, that we can apply to ourselves. And so there's usually good information in everything that's coming through. So please, hopefully you do have the patience to listen to all the messages. We do hope to get to yours. The way that this is done is with a pendulum. You wanted to explain that a little bit, Judy, and then
yes, I print out all the questions initially, and then I go over the sheets of questions with the pendulum, determining which order the questions are to be asked. So there's nothing of me that comes into selecting which order they're in. It's purely the pendulum. It's either yes or no, and simple as that. So sometimes it's quite fascinating, because as I've typed the questions out, it's interesting to see. But yeah, it's obviously not so much the question. It's about the person.
Yeah.
It's the question is just a means for the person to have the interaction. So yeah, it's quite fascinating.
All right. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to start the timer, and you can maybe count to 10 and then ask the first question. So let me go get Daniel. Actually, Daniel will probably let you know when he's here.
Oh yes, my nose starts running when he is.
Yeah. Judy has a nice reaction whenever she's around me. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the patience you have had. It's been a while since we have done this with you. We're excited to be with you here today and to share in this energy. And we appreciate each and every one of you that took the time to ask your questions. And we do want you to know that even if your question does not get answered on this live feed that we are doing today, that we are whispering those answers in your ear. So even if you do not get your answer here, we want you to listen, ask your question, and listen for the answer and just go with the thoughts that are popping into your mind, because that is how we communicate with you. All right. So we're excited that we get to play with the commander today. And with that, we best get started so we can get as many as we can.
Well, thank you, Daniel. So pleased to be on here again with you. And I'm sure the audience has been eagerly awaiting this opportunity because it's been a long time. Well, it feels that way. Anyway, the first question is from Cruising Angel, who would like to know what happens to all the animals, birds, sea life, etc., when the Earth shifts into the fifth dimension. If they shift, and they say, if your answer is they shift as well, are there still animals left on the old Earth?
Such a juicy question, isn't it? But if you think about the animals, if you're sitting there petting your kitty cat and you're watching TV, and all of a sudden the cat is looking up and it's seeing things that you can't see. It might see something up in the corner, or it's like the babies, right? The babies will see things too that the older humans cannot see. And it is because they don't have a veil. So when you ask if the animals will be going into the 5D, yes, they will. And they may already be ahead of you with that, because animals, the animals are not subjected to the same type of how do we want to say this? Their souls aren't on the same kind of journey the human soul is on. They're here to help with the experiences that the humans are having, and they are not experiencing life the same way humans are. They are more primal in what they are doing. They're more innocent in what happens in their lives, for the most part. So yes, the animals will be waiting for you, is how we want to say that. They will be waiting for you there. And will there be animals in a third dimension? Well, there's always going to be a third dimension. There's always going to be a first, second, third, fourth, and so on. And you are just raising your vibration and your planetary system out of the third dimension. It's time for it to grow. Just like when you go to school and you pass first grade, you go to second grade, and second grade, you go to third grade, you see. And so just think of it like that. You're graduating third and fourth grade and going into fifth grade, right? You are moving through these different dimensional pockets. And so there will always be a third dimension. There will always be duality. There will always be a place for that to play out. And so if that place requires how do we want to say the scenery like what Earth has, with animals and trees and water and all the things, then that will be there for it. And there will be energies, souls that come in and play those roles so that the experiences can happen. So yes to all of it. Is that maybe how we want to say? Yes, it's going to, they evolve with you, they move with you, but also there will still be some that come in to experience and give experiences in the third and fourth dimensions. Do you have anything to add to that, Judy? Did anything come in for you with that question?
Only that they will basically, yes, they'll always be in that third dimension, assisting, assisting those that need. Yeah. They're assisting.
Who doesn't elevate when they pick up a puppy, right? And who
exactly
that high vibration when their little fur babies are greeting them at the door. So yes, they are here assisting. Very good way to put that.
Okay, the next one is from Sanya, who works in a wildlife park, and she says that she operated on a tiger a couple of days ago. It stopped breathing, doing CPR, etc. And she had a thought of looking at her hands and the thought of healing hands. And as soon as she did that, the tiger started breathing again. So she's wanting to know, is it possible that her healing ability is coming to work in that way? And if so, can she know more?
Absolutely. And thank you to the tiger for being such a great teacher and for giving you the opportunity we're feeling the gratitude of the tiger coming through too, for giving that opportunity for you to activate and to see and experience what that activation could do for you. And to understand always that the healing came through the hands. The intention was there to bring healing to this animal, and it was pure. Your intention was pure of heart, and it came through, and it did the work with this animal and helped it. And to always remember you are the conduit of that energy, and that you are this beautiful vessel that has the ability to bring this energy in. But it is always up to the one that you are running the energy for to do the healing, to receive it, to accept it. So yes, you are a beautiful conduit of this energy, and you know how to bring that energy in, and you're waking up more and more to it. You're remembering more and more how to do that. And you could take classes if you want, or courses, but you can also just work with your team, with your counsel, and have them help you to understand how best to work with this energy and to move it through, and then just hold the space for the one that you're moving it through for, so that they have the opportunity to receive it or not to receive it. And what we say, and we say this to Tracie all the time, is then let go of your attachment to what happens. You brought the energy was there for them to receive it, to do the healing, to accept it. And if they do, then that is wonderful, right? But if somebody is asking for healing, because it doesn't always have to be an operation, right? It can just be something that's going on in your life, and they could come to you for that healing, and you could give them advice. You can run energy with them, and then they could leave and they could go right back to the old pattern. And you have to allow them that journey and not be attached to the outcome when they leave from your space. And that is for everyone that does a healing practice of that sort. You provide the space, you hold the space, you are a conduit of energy, and you hold that intention. And then it is up to them what they do with it. And so let them decide if the healing is appropriate for them right now or not. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And thank you for being so clear in describing that, because there are many that are attached to the concept that they are the healers. So that was excellent. Thank you, Daniel.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next one is, how do you get past the mind when visualizing to manifest?
How do you get past the mind when visualizing to manifest?
Yeah.
How did you get past that? So we're looking to see how Tracie gets past that. Does she get past it? What we would say to you is that the biggest and best playground for manifestation is your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are in your imagination, then you are out of the critical mind, where that is where the ego, as if you want to label it, comes in and wants to question everything and throw doubt in there and fear in there and what ifs. So if you want to get out of that, go into your imagination and create your manifestation there. If you want to manifest a car, go into your imagination. You see the color of the car, the texture of the car, smell the car. Does it have the new car smell? Does it have all the gadgets you want? Does it have power seats? Does it have heated seats? Does it have the stereo system you want? Get very detailed. When you push on the gas pedal, how does that feel? And those are the kind of, you're just playing in your mind. This is what it would be like to drive that car. And I'm going to drive it down this beautiful country road that has a few twists and turns. And I like the way that feels. And I like the way the car handles. And you just get into it like that. So get out of that critical thinking, get playful. You will manifest more things if you're in a state of joy and giggles and silliness than you will if you're overthinking it, getting critical about it, or getting overwhelmed by it. Those are the areas that we're sure you're asking us, how do you get out of that? Well, don't go there. Don't go there. Go to the place where it's fun and happy and silly, and you're enjoying it, and you're having fun in that manifestation of it. You're seeing yourself celebrating in that space for the manifestation of your desire. And we will go into one of those lectures again. If it is a relationship you desire, please hold the relationship and the way you want the relationship to be, and don't put a face on it. Because if you're saying it has to be a certain person, you're guaranteed to go down a different path. You're not going to probably see that manifestation the way you wanted, because you're going to have a different lesson to learn. And if you're not willing to allow spirit to guide that perfect person to you, because you are attached to a certain soul, then you're going to have a different experience. And that experience is going to teach you how to let go of attachments. So just an FYI, we're going to give you a cheat sheet on that one. And know that when we can allow things to flow and be in that silly playfulness of the energy and put out what our desires are, then the universe can play with us and bring us energetic matches to that. But if you want to get very specific about a certain person to be in your life, then you're going to go on a journey with that. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just that's going to be your experience. And you may not feel like you're manifesting exactly what you wanted, but you are, because you wanted that person. And so you're manifesting experiences with that person or about that person. And even if that person isn't on board with the relationship, you're still having experiences with the energy of that person, because you are having that exchange of desire. So don't judge it, just move yourself through it in whatever way is best for you. And if that's where you need to be, then that's where you need to be. Don't worry about it. It will change when it is supposed to change, and when you've got the lesson that you were supposed to get from it, then it will shift. So hopefully that answers that okay, but go be playful and have a good time in your manifestations.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. The added bonus there about relationships. Excellent. Now, tongue twister here, Born Free 3 asks, why are they invisible and undervalued?
Why do they feel invisible and undervalued?
Yes.
Well, we want to ask that back. Why do you feel invisible and undervalued? Where are you doing that to yourself? Because that is a mirror for you, and it's coming to you because it's time to heal it. And so it's time to see yourself and value yourself. And when someone else is not valuing you, it's time to walk away from that, because now you're starting to value yourself, and you should not put yourself in a situation where you're not feeling valued. You do not have to tolerate that. And so you're going to be probably moved in a direction to heal those parts. Where did you not feel seen and valued in childhood? Where did you not feel that as you move through your life? And there's probably many situations that have ingrained this scenario for you. And so now it's in your energy. And so whatever is in your energy is going to attract that around you. And that is going to be the mirror that comes in for you. And this is, we're speaking to the collective right now. What is it that you see? What is it that's happening around you? That is your mirror to what is healing, or your mirror to what is healed. If things are happy and joyful, you're healing that already. So we see you, we value you, and you made it on the list. See, you got seen, you got valued, didn't you?
Yes.
And so why not celebrate that? And we're going to guess that this is not something where nobody sees me, nobody values me. It's probably a situation where a particular place that you want to be seen and valued by a particular person or a particular environment, like work or something of that nature. We want you to start recognizing where you are being seen and valued, like today. And maybe you go to the grocery store and somebody opens a door for you. They're seeing you, they're valuing you. Start recognizing it. Start seeing where you're being seen and valued, and quit discrediting yourself because you desire it to come from somebody or something that it's not coming from. It is time for you to see and value yourself. And when you do, then it will no longer matter to you if this other person or place sees or values you. It is not important anymore. And that's probably when they're going to see you. But right now, it is important for you to see yourself, to value yourself, to love yourself, and to know that you are worthy, you are grand, you are amazing, you are powerful, you come from the stars, you are here to light up this world, and you are here to do great things. So it's time for you to see that. And that's what we'll say to that person.
And thank you, Born Free 3, for asking that question, because it applies to probably just about everybody in some part of their life. So excellent. Okay, yeah. Rad Dad asks, why is there so much mystery and conspiracy around ancient Tartaria? Did it play a role in Yeshua's incarnation?
Well, there is mystery and secrecy and all kinds of things in all your history.
Yeah.
So yes, all of that. What does your gut tell you? Because we're going to say, we could give you an answer here today to that question, but what timeline, what journey are you on with that? And how does your gut feel with it? Because for every person listening, there is a different reality playing out. And your reality may have come from the timeline that shows exactly what you just said to us, that there is secrecy and hidden things, and it has to do with Joshua and the stories of Christianity or the journeys of Yeshua. To make that a blanket statement, it is not going to be the same for everyone. Everyone is going to experience that a little differently. But that goes for everything in your history, everything that you believe to be true, all the constructs that you have. It is, how is that affecting you where you sit in your reality and your belief systems? And so that's kind of going to be a bigger, broader statement or answer for you, is that if this is resonating for you, then it is true. And if someone else heard that question and it didn't resonate for you, that's okay. Your reality is also true for you and the journey that you're on and the timeline you came from. And so do you want to add anything to that, Judy?
Well, I am also very intrigued about the Tartarian scenario. And I think we all need to delve a little bit deeper into our memories via whatever it takes to bring that information out, because I think it will be quite astounding. And if everybody has a particular piece to the puzzle, then it can be all put together. But it's very interesting how there is no...
We say to you, what would be a good way for them to find that lifetime?
Oh, definitely a QHHT session.
So that could be an intention you set if you were to have a session that you would want to see your lifetime that's connected to that. Yeah. And set the intention when you go. But yes, you're right. There are so many things to be unveiled. Yes. When Tracie was in Egypt, the message continued to come to her that they haven't even found the best parts yet.
Oh,
the best parts are still hidden. And so when you ask that question, we're like, of course, there's still so much to be discovered. And isn't that exciting? And the technology that you are stepping into is giving you the ability to discover things that are beneath the surface even easier now, and to start unearthing that and finding more treasures and more information, more records, if you will. And this time they won't be able to hide them from you. So this will be a much better time of exploration when all of that starts to be discovered.
It's very exciting. Okay, moving along. Rachel asks, how do you find out who your guides are? She says so many people know and she doesn't. She has an issue where she cannot see images. So when she meditates, she can't tell if it's guides. It just feels like the Holy Spirit. But she just doesn't ever feel like she's connecting to a team or specific guides.
We're just enjoying her energy right now. And the number 7 is coming to us, that there's 7 spiritual guides on your council. They range from anywhere from the angelic realm, the master realm, and you have some starseed guides with you, meaning they came from, we're seeing Sirius and connection to the Lyrans. So if you find yourself fond of the kitty cats, that could be why. And we're sitting there going, where's your Acturian? No. But we do feel like there is that energy around you as well. And you have access to as many things as you want to have access to, but this is your team, and they'll be with you. They are with you. That's the energy you're feeling. That feels like the Holy Spirit coming in. Their love for you is very strong. You are very connected to source. And so when you set the intention, that energy comes in around you. Part of why the mystery of seeing, right? The mystery, I can't see it. Part of what happens is you are drawing in white light around you, and the white light is like a veil that keeps the mystery alive, right? And it's been protecting you and keeping you safe, this white light veil that is around you. But you could ask to see beyond the veil, and remember, it is that imagination. That is how that is communicated to you. And when, like we were saying in the beginning, if your question didn't get asked, sit with that and ask again. We'll whisper it to you. We are in your thoughts. We are those thoughts that come popping in. And so remember that those thoughts will come popping in. And remember also that you are not seeing things with the physical eye. You are seeing them with the mind's eye or the imagination. And sometimes people think they're going to see things like a video, like a movie playing in front of them, but it may come in flashes, it may come in a knowingness, it may come in many different ways that they're not expecting. And so when anybody is working with this, wanting to develop the third eye, we say to you, make it up. And isn't that what they say? Fake it till you make it. Make it up. Where do you, if you were to say, okay, I'm going to be standing on a beach. Does everyone know how to stand on a beach? It can be any kind of beach, anywhere around the world. You've all seen at least a picture of a beach if you haven't been on one. And imagine you're standing there on the beach, and then a door appears in front of you, and you got the door jamb and a door, and it's just there randomly sitting on the beach with you. And you're going to look at the color of that door. What color is that door? Now, if you're fighting that right now, then you're getting into your critical mind thinking you need to figure it out. So what we want you to do is we want you to make it up. If you're like, I don't know what color my door is, and say it's a brown door. Okay, don't make it harder than it is. It's a brown door with a white knob, and it's got a keyhole just below the knob. It's an older door. The keyhole is not in the doorknob itself. It sits below, and it takes one of those old skeleton keys. See how fun that was? I just made it up. When I open the door and I step through it, I step into winter. Winter is around me now. It's snowing, and now I'm in the mountains, and now there's another door. And this door looks like a door to a cave. See, we're just playing and we're having fun, and we can just keep going. And so we want you to play with that. We want you to develop the third eye and get out of your head about, I can't see it, I can't see it, I can't see it. You can see it. You can see your kitchen. You can see your toothbrush where it sits in your mind's eye. It's the same thing. And so find the things that work for you and get into the imagination and start affirming, I can see, I can see. I'm very visual. Start doing that. Just, I'm very visual, I can see. Because we know it takes practice and things will shift, and then your mind will open up and you'll be able to play in that imagination. And then you'll be able to have fun with those guides. You'll be able to go, okay, I want the Acturians to take me to Arcturus. I want the Syrians to take me to Orion's belt. I want to see that. And then you'll just be able to start imagining and having fun and playing with that. And we spent some time on this because we feel like there's a lot of people that struggle in this area, and they get in their own ways with trying to figure out how does that look, instead of just being in the playfulness of it and start making it up. Those ideas are coming from somewhere. And don't get in your way with that critical mind. Let your mind be in that escaping place where you can just have some fun. Do you want to add anything to that, Judy?
Yes, I would like to add something. So I'm just drawing out a couple of words out of what she wrote there, which is, I don't ever feel like I'm connecting. How about shifting that to, I am always connected?
Your words are very powerful.
Mm.
Yeah, they can change the way you experience this world just by changing the words you're using.
Yep.
They carry energy. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, let's do the next one.
The next one is from Central Purr. I like that name. And you just mentioned about the Lurins before.
That's right. Now we're getting the kitties right up and personal with us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Who says, I'm pretty curious as to why I have so many issues with water leaks in my apartment. It affects the apartment below more, but seems anytime a leak is fixed, a month later, a new one appears.
The leaks. Well, water is usually representation of the emotions. And one of the things we would have you look at is what part of the house or this apartment is the leak happening? Is it a particular room? Is it a particular space? There's something there for you to look at, and you know that. That's why you're asking the question. And so asking, where is this emotion, this overflow of emotion coming from? And you are the one experiencing it. So we don't want the answer of, oh, it's the apartment above me or the apartment below me. It is, you are the one experiencing this leak, and it is part of your life right now. It is showing up, it gets fixed, it shows up again, it's still there. So as we look at that, we'll just put a little energy there and see if anything wants to. We're asking the leak, why are you there? There's an area of your life that you've been asked to change. Your higher self, your counsel, they've been trying to get you to change and do something different. And they're saying, you will know what we're talking about. We don't have to bring it to light on a live broadcast, right? But you will know what we're talking about. There is something that needs to change. And it could be the way somebody's treating you. It could be that you're in a job that you want to move out of and do something else that feeds the soul. It could be a lot of things. And so think about, where is it that you are doing something or involved in something that you don't want to be there, or you're not having joy when you are in this. And so there's something there that needs to shift, and it's getting louder and louder. That's why the leaks keep coming back. And that's why it will continue to happen until you understand and get it. And maybe it's that this apartment that you're in, maybe it's the only thing you feel like you can afford. And so here you are, and maybe you don't like it there, or maybe you do like it there. We don't know, but we're giving you ideas to start thinking. It could be anything at all, but maybe giving yourself permission to change it. That is something we will talk to you about a little bit. How many times have you gone somewhere? Maybe you go to the store and you're walking through the store and you see something you want, and then you say, no, I can't afford that, or I can't do that. And then you see somebody else that's just loading their cart up, right? And then it makes you feel even worse about not being able to indulge in such a little treat. And we want to say to you, where is it that you are not giving yourself permission? And so this is what we want you to do. Next time you go to the store, if this applies to you and you see something, give yourself permission to put it in your cart. Give yourself, even if you're online shopping, you can put it in the cart, right? Give yourself permission to put it in the cart and then leave it there for a little while. And we guarantee you it will change. You will go through this thing where you'll be like, oh, I'm giving myself permission. I really like this thing, and I'm going to put it in my cart. And I'm going to let that sit there for a little bit. And if you're in a physical store, you're walking around for a little bit. And by the time you're at the check stand, you're thinking, you know what? I don't even think I'll use that much. I really don't want this item. But you just needed to give yourself permission to have it so that you didn't feel the lack. And you may decide to purchase it. You may decide to put it back on the shelf. But give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to take a trip. Okay, I've been wanting to go on this trip. I've been wanting to go to this place. Well, give yourself permission to do it. Pick a day, put it on the calendar. Give yourself enough time that you feel comfortable where it's sitting on the calendar, and give yourself permission to start working towards that. And then maybe you actually will take that trip. What steps would I need to take to actually take that trip and be there and go do that thing? Start giving yourself permission. That is a manifesting technique too, by the way. It's when you're in that repressed state of, oh, I can't afford that, or we can't do that, or that's too much right now, or I'm too busy to do that, and I'm too busy to do this. Where is it that you are getting in your own way? And so give yourself permission to make the changes that you want to make that will bring more joy into your life. And we think the water leaks will go away. So see, we brought it back to the water leaks at least. So anything you want to add to that, Judy?
Just very simply, the two words, the transmutation energy. So got to shift something.
Shift.
Right. Okay, the next one is from Marian. She's in Sweden, and she is feeling strange a lot, feeling dizzy, having very poor sleep, and she wants to know what she can do to solve this. But she also wants to talk about a very strange event that happened one day. She was out walking and there was no traffic, just a couple of cars, and suddenly there were cars everywhere. It felt very, very odd.
Well, the first thing that came to us when the question was asked is that particular part of the world is going through, there's a lot of energy that is coming in, and a lot of transformation that humanity in that part of the world is going through right now. There's a big flow of energy for the awakening. Maybe we would say, look at the solar flares or the Schumann resonance and see where that is at, that it's influencing, but you're feeling the energy of the shift of the planet that's going on in that particular area. You said Sweden, right?
Yes.
And so it is very interesting the way things will happen. And we haven't had, we'll get clients from all over the world to do sessions and with Tracie and I. And just recently we have been getting clients from Sweden. So we just want to say there is something going on there, and there's a shift going on in that part of the world. And enjoy the ride. And yes, weird things are going to happen. You're witnessing two timelines at the same time. And if you haven't heard us talk about that, please visit one of the older archives where we talk about, as you are going through the awakening, you will be aware of two different scenarios at the same time. You remember us talking about that, Judy?
Oh yes, it's quite fascinating.
And so,
but disorienting as well.
Just like what she was saying, there was traffic in one timeline and no traffic in the other timeline, and she remembers them both very clearly. And so that is what we'd be talking about. And so you're obviously, in our minds, obviously going through some symptoms of the shift, the lightheaded or feeling a little dizzy. Of course, if there's ever anything that you feel concerned about, please do seek the medical attention that you would feel comfortable with. But there are many shifts going on in your part of the world. And so you could just be having the effects of those move through your body. You're a sensitive being. You're being upgraded right now into a different energy. We don't like the word upgraded, but that's kind of how it feels sometimes. You're letting go of a part of you that is no longer relevant, and you're bringing in this new part of you that is ready to experience energy differently. And so you're moving into new frequencies, you're ready to experience life differently, you're ready to manifest differently, you're ready to look at the world differently. And that's what you're feeling, is those changes happening. And of course, Judy, anything if you want to add that.
No, no, it's pretty par for the course, isn't it, of what's happening everywhere for many, many people. So don't be too concerned about it. It's just you're flowing beautifully with the energy. Just take some adjustment. Okay, Amy Lee asks if there are any messages her team would like to deliver to her.
And the name is Amy Lee.
Amy Lee, yes.
Amy Lee. Takes us a second to find your energy and ask then the council, do you have anything for Amy Lee? They're trying to speak to you in your right ear. The right ear may at times feel plugged if you're in resistance to something that is coming through. Please quit doubting yourself, quit doubting it, and you are getting information. Start journaling, please. Start journaling that information, and then you can read it later and see what you think about it. But in the moment when the information is coming through, if you could just sit down and write down whatever thoughts come into your mind, just write it down. Like, what if this was an angel giving me a message? What would an angel say? And just start writing it down. Anybody can do this, by the way. And you just start writing it down. And what do you think an angel would say to you? What do you think your guide would say to you? And start writing it down when you feel like there's information that's coming in. And there is a shift, a transition. Transition. We're trying to get the word right for you, sorry. As you put the energy into watching your videos, reading your books, being on your ascension path and loving yourself and getting to know who you are going to go through a shift or a transition, and a part of you that has been ready to come in is going to come in, and there will be a great remembering with that. You're going to start remembering some of your gifts that you haven't already remembered. And so we feel like you already know about some of the gifts, and that more gifts are going to come in. And we feel like this message, if it's resonating with anyone, please take it. If you're doing the work, you're going to get a shift. And we had talked about, and maybe not with this particular group, but we had talked about the children of the sun coming in. And then over the time in Egypt and over the time in Sedona that Tracie spent there, the sun god Ra came through. And so these are children of the sun god Ra, and they're coming from different dimensions through portals of the sun, and they're coming into this world. Now you've had one wave of these children come in already, and this is a second wave. So just like Dolores talks about the 3 waves of volunteers, we have continued waves of volunteers that have been coming in. The new children coming in now, they're going to be in their infant stages right now. And the ones that are soon to come in and join this planetary system, these angel babies is what we want to call them. They're bringing in a remembering of psychic powers that you may not even know you could have had. Psychic powers that humanity may not even be aware of. But some of those powers are going to be heightened telepathy. You're going to have the kinesiology, is that what you call it when you're moving the objects? You will be able to levitate. You'll be able to do some of these things. Now, this is the children that are coming in. They're going to be leveling humanity into another really big leap into that 5th dimension. And in the 5th dimension, you're going to be able to do things, even maybe teleportation. You might be able to do, you get the picture. And so you're moving into these new parts of who you are. So do your work, study, learn, go in the direction that you're feeling pulled to go into, listen to the videos you feel pulled to listen to, and let go of any, if you feel like you are in any form of limitation, let it go. When you go into meditation, if you are not just going out into expansion, then that is a limitation. Don't feel limited by the body. Move your energy up and out and explore and be in that expansion of humanity. Be in the expansion of your higher self. Be in the expansion of this multidimensional and quantum fields of who you are. There's so much more to you. And these children are bringing in that information, and they'll be sharing it. It'll start blowing people away. They're going to start talking about these things. They're going to start showing it. If you're one of the people that have one of these children, don't be surprised if the baby's holding on to something that was across the room, and when you weren't looking, they were able to move that object to them. Don't be surprised if these things happen. You're entering into a new world. And so that's what we have. That expanded it into a group message for everybody. You guys are all getting ready to receive things in a bigger way, and be excited about it. Be in the joy of that. And don't get frustrated with it. If you're like, it's not happening yet, don't do that. Just be in the joy of knowing it's coming. Okay?
All right. The next one is from Kathy, and it's another another sleep question. And very concerned about not having enough sleep and feeling that time is running out, and she doesn't have enough time to get everything ready, and it's getting really exhausting. She's asked for assistance in sleeping, but it's just not happening. What more can you tell her about this?
Well, time as you know it is running out. Time in the third dimension is running out. It is not something that's just going to happen at the snap of the finger. You are all aware that you are going through this shift, that you are in this transition, and time will be experienced differently when you leave the third dimension. One of the experiences of third dimension is time. And so what we have to say to Kathy is relax, relax. Wherever you are going, it's fun. It is fun there. And your expansion there is going to be, it's going to be worth it. As to why are you not sleeping? Whatever the story is that's going on, that you don't have enough time to complete something, is that what it says?
Or not enough time to get ready. Yeah.
Not enough time to get ready. You're already ready. You're already ready. That's just fun to say. Okay, so there's no worries with that. Let that go. It's interesting. Okay, so here's what's happening that we can see, and only take the parts that feel right to you. And we say that to everyone that gets the reading or is listening. Only take the parts that feel right to you. But Kathy, it feels like a lot of changes have happened in your life, and that you are ready to release a part of you. And this goes for a lot of people right now, because if you can't bring the worn out version of you into the new world, right? There is a part of you that came in to do all the work, that came in to ride that wave of all the uncomfortable things that you did throughout your life. And it was setting the path for the big shift to happen. And then you say goodbye to that part. You honor that part, you love that part, and you thank it for all the work that it's done to get you to this part. And it's still you, and it's still your soul, but you're going to let that other part that worked so hard rest. Remember, people say retrieve that aspect of you, do the inner child work, and go to the traumas and get the things where you fragmented off, and you're retrieving those parts of you. This is kind of the same thing. This is a fragmented part of you that endured. And now it's time to shift the energy. And you don't want to bring the old patterns with you. You don't want to bring the old stories with you. And so you're going to let that part go rest. and it's going to recover, and it's going to the healing space, if you will. And then you're going to have another aspect of your soul. It's still you, it's still your soul, it's still your personality, it's still your memories. It is you, but it's a new shiny one, like you just went and got some new clothes, but it's still you that's wearing the clothes. And now you're going to move forward with all the knowledge that you gained from that other part of you that did all that work. And that part gets to go rest now, and you're going to go forward. And so I think that might be what you're feeling. I don't have time to get ready. You are already ready. You are ready for this shift. You are ready for this new experience. You are ready. And when that other part of you gets done resting and healing, it does join back with you, and you become whole in that sense, just like when you retrieve aspects of you from the inner child. It's all in divine order. Don't know how else to explain it to you, but whatever is changing and shifting with you, that might be what you're feeling, and that might be what's bringing in the anxiety around that, or the tension around that. And so breathe and relax, and know that whatever is happening, it is spectacular, and it is happening for you. And Judy, do you get anything else with that?
Yeah, well, just as you say, everything is in divine timing, and because everything feels to be accelerated now in comparison to earlier parts of our life, it is disconcerting. It does create anxiety, but it is absolutely perfect.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
How are we doing on questions? Where are we at?
That was number 10.
We have only gotten through 10.
We have only gotten through 10, yes.
We have 12 more minutes for Tracie, so let's ask another one and see how far we can get.
Okay, next one's from Kaylee in England, and she feels that her shell is finally cracking open, but the question is about being pulled to create a spiritual school in her county of Suffolk. She's scared, she's excited, it's a big challenge, she knows she's got it in her, but is she on track with feeling this, and what else does she need to do to make it possible?
Well, she's already made it happen. She's already made it happen by being open to it. And what we say to her is, you are the school, you are this teacher. And so now you're just creating the facility of which to bring it to another level of life. But you are already this thing that you think you're creating. You are already it. And you're already educating and helping, and you are already doing the work. And so now you're just working on the facility. And yes, it feels very good. It feels wonderful. But the only thing that we would say to you as you are stepping into this adventure is that if you are not extracting joy from this, then take a look at that. Why are you, if you are not, then why would you not be extracting joy from this adventure? And if you are, keep going. If you are not, it may be time to think about, well, maybe this looks a little different than you thought. There is no right or wrong answer, and there is no right or wrong choice. You can do whatever you want to do in whatever form you do it. And if this is the vision and the dream that you have and it excites you, then move forward. And if it overwhelms you, then find out, why is it overwhelming you before you move forward, because we do not want you to fall into it causing stress and anxiety and fear, because those are not the energies you want to be in when you're creating this healing space and this place of learning. So stay in the joy and stay in the excitement. If that does not feel like that is the frequency you are in, step away for a little bit and go find out why. And then you can come back to it. So that's what we're going to say to you in this journey of creation, because it is a big project. And now we're not saying that you won't have stress in that project, because you are creating something big. But if it is robbing you of your joy, then it's time to reassess what it is that maybe you want to be creating here. We ask you to think about, what is the goal? What is it that you would like to have happen in this place? How do you want people to feel when they're there? How do you want to feel when you are there? Really think about what you are creating energetically as you put it into place. And we will see if Judy has more to add to that.
I know how excited she is to do this, and she has done a huge amount of work in the last couple of years to move her in this direction. So go for it, Kaylee.
Yeah,
just
very
look
supported.
Yeah,
very supported.
Yeah, just look, as Daniel says, just look at those areas within yourself that are holding you back. Recognize what they are for and from, and work through that, and you'll fly.
Yes. It's just like you are building it, it is also building you. You are going through these experiences and learning and growing along the way. That is the way the world works, isn't it? You are always learning, you are always growing. And so it is a mutual thing between you and this project. You are growing together.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right. We have time for one more, at least one more.
Okay. A lovely name here, Laura Borealis asks, how does awakening to your true self and enlightenment and channeling ETs and other beings fit together? Is awakening only a part of the bigger picture or the other way around?
We're going to have you read that again because we did cough. And so we missed a little piece of that. And so please read that again for us.
How does awakening of your true self-enlightenment and channeling ETs and other beings fit together? Is awakening only a part of the bigger picture, or is it the other way around?
Well, awakening to your true self is just that. You're awakening to that you are many, many things. How does that relate to the channeling? You're channeling other aspects of yourself from other places and all around the universe and multiverse and the galaxies. You are threaded and connected and corded to these other parts of you because they are you, these beautiful beings that you bring through. We are part of Tracie. Daniel and Tracie are both aspects of the same soul, and that is how the channeling works for her. And she also gets channeled through to Arcturus. When Daniel is there, he will channel Tracie through and bring messages to the Arcturians from the human. And so you're connecting to other aspects of self, other lifetimes lived and coexisting at the same time. You are not limited to that, but that is part of how getting to know yourself and that soul expansion is to understand that you are so much more than just the human body, and that there's many great things for you to experience with that. So not to limit it, though. There are no limits. You also can communicate and talk to many other forms and many other star beings that are out there that are not aspects of your soul, but are still able to telepathically connect as you understand your gifts and your abilities to be expansive in that way. You'll be able to bring in a lot of different things, different ideas, and remembering many, many more things about who you are and how expansive you are. This is just one of the bodies that you occupy, and you can journey, whether it's in your sleep state or meditative state, or as you keep evolving, you may be able to experience multiple things at the same time, just like we were talking earlier about the traffic and no traffic. And your mind is starting to expand in these ways where you are able to receive information in multiple levels and to be able to hold it and retain it and understand it and conceptualize it while also doing something else that you're doing all the same things with. So if you thought your mind was busy before, and we're thinking you're going to get even busier when you start expanding it and understanding there's so much more. But also there's ease in that. There's peace in that because you have access to all knowledge. You have access to the Akashic records, if you would. And so there is a little bit of relaxing in that, a little bit of peace in that. You don't have to keep thinking about things all the time because you have access to them when at any given moment, whenever you want it. And so as it seems big and expansive, it is also going to bring more peace of mind. Anything to add to that, Judy?
Yes, it's part of the bigger picture.
Mhm.
Awakening a mind-boggling bigger picture.
So beautiful. All right, one more.
One more is from Ascending Aquarius, who's says at the pinnacle of a relationship cycle, and is trying to be as self-reflective as possible, working hard to gain back energy in the solar plexus, so taking back power, but feels that there's something missing. So the question is, what is that's missing or not being seen?
That was a lot of words. Okay. At the pinnacle of a relationship, say that part again.
I'll read it exactly. At the pinnacle of a very karmic fated cycle concerning relationships in her life, in her life.
Everything is in divine order. That's what we're hearing. Everything is as it should be. Be ready. There's many people that are, as they evolve, as they grow spiritually, the ones that were there serving them to help them with their lessons, to jump into the self-love and self-care, and to give yourself the love and compassion that you've been given everybody else. These people that are done with their task with you, you're, as she was saying, karmic cycles. The reason for you coming together is complete. And so people will be leaving and going through their own experiences, and at some other time in life, it may come back together. But if people are fading out, it is okay. It's a sign that things are changing and evolving, and sending them lots of love. I think we would want to say in these transitions of relationships, what is the energy you carry? Are you resolved? Are you complete? And you're not complete if you're still holding resentment or anger or holding them in contempt of something. They were there to serve you, and they were there to trigger you. And so when releasing relationships, if you are not at peace and in harmony with those relationships and letting them go, there's more work to do. And if it's not with that person, somebody else will show up and do that work with you. And so it'll show up in another form, in another body. But we say to you, if you want to graduate these levels, find the peace and harmony with those that trigger you the most. They are your greatest teachers. And we know all of you are right now thinking, oh boy, that one is really a good teacher because they know how to get under my skin. They know how to poke the bear. And that's going to be your greatest teacher. And so we're not sure if we're answering this question right, but it did give us an opportunity to talk about it and to understand that all relationships, especially significant relationships, mothers, fathers, spouses, children, those relationships are intentional. If they're good, they're bad, they're indifferent, doesn't matter. They're very intentional. Everybody's playing a role to push each other into whatever lesson it is that they came to learn, whatever it is they came to resolve, whatever you came to learn and resolve. You are working together to create those scenarios, and we want to use the word rebirth into this new reality. And so be excited, be thrilled when somebody comes along and triggers you and knows how to poke the bear. That's great. It means you're ready to heal something. And so when you can get to a place where you're excited that you got upset and that you were triggered, and then you realize, oh, this means I can heal it. Then you know you've arrived. You know that you're ready. You're ready to start looking at the things that were really, really hard to look at and feel and experience. And Judy, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you've covered that beautifully.
Well, that is wonderful. And we thank everybody for letting us be here. We're going to bring Tracie back and we're going to shift into Judy and let her do some of the channeling through the commander to bring us some more answers. So thank you so much for letting us be here with all of you. And we will bring in Tracie. Yay! Look at Judy's going into a mode. Where did you leave off?
I left off at Cookie the dog.
Okay, so that's going to be your first one.
That is going to be my first one, and that is for Nichelle Marie. And you are always connected to Cookie.
So let me read the question so
Yes.
everyone knows what we're talking about. Look at how excited Judy is to get going here, or commander. I'll start saying commander. Okay, so Nichelle Marie, is my dog Cookie a Boston Terrier, happy and well? Please let her know I miss her. Okay, now you can bring that answer in.
As I said, you're always connected to Cookie. So you can feel your way towards Cookie very, very easily. But please understand that pets come in and out of our lives, and sometimes they're only with you for a short period and then they move on to somebody else and move on to somebody else. That is because they have a role to play in assisting that person at that given time. But my feeling towards you is that you have some guilt in passing Cookie along to another person. And I'd very much like you to go inside yourself and understand why it is that you feel guilty. What were the circumstances around? And just let that go in understanding that Cookie served the purpose with you at that time and now has moved on to another one. Cookie is okay. That you can communicate with Cookie. I don't know whether Cookie's a male or a female, but you can communicate with Cookie. All you have to do is think of her. Her.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a her.
Her.
Yeah. It's a her. Yeah, please let her know I miss her. So we're going to go with her. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Northern Lights 2959. I have a granddaughter, Naomi, that is 9, and I worry a lot about her home life as it is not a loving home. I do my best for when she visits me to provide a safe, peaceful place full of love for her in my home. But is there anything more I can do? How much do I share about our ascension with her? I have no idea how to even go about this. Thank you so much.
Well, in providing her with that safe and loving environment, you're doing far more than possibly what you can even comprehend. But what is coming through is to take time and sit down with Naomi and draw and let her express herself, her concerns, her fears, her worries, her joys through the drawings, and see into those drawings. You draw with her as well, and just talk, just use the drawings as a means of generating the interchange and the exchange of concepts. And it might be something just very, very simple. You know, maybe you incorporate in a drawing that you do a spacecraft. You know, just little things like that. Maybe you can incorporate into your drawings and see how she responds with her drawings, and you know, get the conversation about that. But just don't overwhelm. Just let it organically evolve as regards information and understanding and feeling and the bigger picture. It just feels that the drawing is going to illustrate so much more to you about her and what she's coming with and what she remembers, and she'll feel safe in doing that with you.
Beautiful. Okay. Moonlight Awakening says, my birthday is on the day of the full moon on June 22nd. I feel the return of the moon goddess inside me is coming back. Does Commander have anything to say about my birthday? Thank you.
Have a wonderful, joyous birthday filled with lots of spiritual gifts.
Yeah.
The moon goddess. The moon goddess, feminine energy arising. I see the colours of blue and green surrounding you. What do those mean to you? How do they create that? How do those colours ignite creativity in you? Sit with that, feel with that. And if you feel the desire to go down a different creative path, by all means explore that, because that is bringing forward that energy that you're associating with the moon goddess. It may be something that you have played around with in the past. It may be something new, but allow yourself the space and time to play with that creative energy. And it can be something so simple. It's the process of doing it, not the result. So as you work in the process, that is when you are bringing forward that energy. Don't have an expectation of an outcome, or don't equate the outcome of what you do to what anybody else does. That's not the purpose. It is a process of using that energy for creating whatever.
Love it. I love it. You know, I forgot to start your timer, so we're going to start that now. And be a little mindful of the time. You've done 3 already, so we'll take a little time.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys. I had too many jobs, I guess. Too many jobs. Okay. Next question. Jen likes cats, 8294. It's she's saying it's called wrong planet syndrome at times, and I think there's something missing from that because I'm not sure where that comes in. But the question is, how do you interpret autism? Is it more of a disability that we choose to experience, or a type of soul difference that we've carried through our lifetimes? Also, have heard it's what humanity is evolving towards, and it's a pre-programmed upgrade some of us already have. What do you see? Thank you.
Well, yes, it was slightly out of context, as the questions tend to be quite long, and I shorten them off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, wrong planet. Yeah.
So the term autism is referring to the wrong planet syndrome. No,
Okay.
it's not a wrong planet syndrome. It is these people are different from humanity as we have known it. So it's not so much that they've come to the wrong planet. They have specifically come to this planet in order to bring their gifts, their skills, and their different perceptions of life as we know it with them, in order to teach and to help others integrate to those different skills and ways of viewing things. I recall from the question that she was diagnosed as being autistic. Always remember that terminology is simply a label that encompasses a whole range of things. So it's not important, well, it's extremely important not to get caught up in the label, but to understand your differences and how they present themselves, and be quite joyous about that, because it's helping you to perceive humanity from a different perspective. And there's nothing right or wrong about that. It is simply a different perspective and a different way of going about things. So embrace those differences within yourself and with those around you that have an awareness of being somewhat different to others.
Wonderful. Okay. The next one, Marie Z5863, is the solar flash going to heal illness in the body? If not, what should we do to heal ourselves from chronic conditions? Infinite love and gratitude. I think the answer was in the question there. Infinite love and gratitude.
Yes. If something's chronic, then it's something that you've been avoiding looking at for a long time. So instead of looking outward for something to miraculously happen, and the way the transformation, the move into 5D is going to be experienced differently by many, many people, the thing is to take the situation now at hand and look at why you have these conditions. Go within, ask the question of your body, ask the question of yourself. Why has this occurred? What do I need to know? And take control of that and deal with that. You can heal yourself. Everybody can heal themselves. It's just getting rid of the belief that you cannot do this. Sit quietly with yourself and listen. You can find out what has caused these issues within yourself and take the appropriate steps with the information that you received in order to resolve that. Everything is turning inwards. So make that your go-to place. Go inwards and see what you receive. Listen for the answers. And it may come in a different form to you. It may just be something random that you hear, or it may be something that you see in the external world, or whatever comes to you internally. But take the steps to do it yourself, because you can. You have the ability, you have the power, you have the knowledge, you have the knowingness of what to do in order to rectify your physical body.
Wonderful. Heal it. Heal it, everybody.
Yes.
All right. I don't know how to say the name on this one. KHALIPHANTLOKO. That's how I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm feeling a sense of disassociation with the world right now. Working set hours behind a computer feels odd to me. Certain systems seem strange to be in. I feel different about my connections, and I have these longing for a home that I can't describe. Can you help me understand what I'm experiencing and how best to navigate this? Thank you.
This is not uncommon. Many people are feeling this disassociation because the world as we have perceived it no longer fits with the progression that we are making, the shifting that we are going through. Old things, old systems, old ways of, old beliefs, old ways of doing things are all crumbling as we are emerging into a different existence, a different way of doing things. So whilst it is rather disconcerting to have a foot in both worlds, or both dimensions, if you like, just understand that it is a transitional period for you, and as you move forward, the what you're experiencing now will slip away. It will drop off as you emerge into the new way of living. And you'll find that the circumstances around you, the job that you're doing, things will happen that will remove you from that, be it your own decision or a decision that is perceived as not made for you. And you will find yourself moving into an area that is much more harmonic with the upgraded version of you, if you'd like to put it that way. It is disconcerting. Understand that, but it's temporary, and know within yourself that that will come to an end and something more wondrous, more beautiful, more magical will transpire for you as you, in essence, as you emerge from the chrysalis. Imagine you're the butterfly and you're just emerging, but you just have to go through that sticky breaking through of the, I can't think of the word that the butterfly emerges, the cocoon, whatever. Chrysalis, that's it, the chrysalis. As you've poked your head through the chrysalis, but you still just got to get out of that sticky confinement. And then when you come out, you're going to fly and be beautiful.
Absolutely. Love it. Perfect. Okay. Nicole Mitchell, 1999. Is there any practice I need to implement into my daily life so I am not struggling so hard with strong emotions and sensory input? I have grown so much in the past 6 to 12 months, but it's been a wild ride. Well, we can all identify with that. Good and difficult. I am just struggling with too much input and emotions, making it hard to keep in place my new healthier habits. I'm just not sure which one I need to focus on more. That will be the best help. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that was going to be 2 pages or 2 different pages. So I realized it continued. And so I hope that didn't throw you off when I'm shuffling. But yeah, what's going to help, Nicole?
Okay. Firstly, the term input. What is it that you are inputting into your system as regards information? Is it input that generates a fear base, or is it input that generates a feeling of peace and harmony? If you're inputting into your system fear-based scenarios, then simply turn that off. Just turn that off. Input into your system things that bring you joy, things that resonate, things that are light and loving. The other side of this is, are there emotions coming up in you that you just simply need to recognize and let go? We all have so much stuff that is being poked at, shall we say, that is bringing up, and you may be re-experiencing it, but just welcome that it is coming up and being let go. Can be uncomfortable. It can be very confronting, and at times you may want to shove it back down again with whatever you may use to shove those things down. The difficult part is just letting it come out, acknowledging it, and then it will go. You'll find that as you're in this phase, everything will plateau out, will level out, and with the healthy things that you are doing, everything will just balance itself out. But there's another thing too, is to create more balance in your life, in allowing yourself, time for other people, time for whatever you have to do domestically, time for whatever you have to do work-wise. Create a balanced scenario where one doesn't override the other, also allowing time for spiritual growth as well. So by maintaining a balance in your life, everything else will help to level out, and you're going to feel a lot better. But well done for enduring the roller coaster. It may continue in that way, but just enjoy it. Be the thrill seeker. I was never one for roller coasters, but in hindsight, when you look back and you see how much you learn about yourself by embarking on that rapid ride, it is very, very encouraging. So just be a little bit easier on yourself and watch your input. Trust your gut on what is correct for you and stay away from fear-based scenarios.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we're going to spend time on anything. Let's spend it in the higher vibration.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Arkasumi 64. I'm on meds after cardiac bypass in 2020, which are now making me feel horrible. I have made major life changes and feel like the meds are now making the things worse. If I'm going to take back my own power over my own body and health, is it wiser to rely on my doctor's traditional Western medicine mind you, to take me off of the meds, or to take myself off? I am researching QHHT practitioners to help with this question, but would appreciate a non-Western medicine point of view from some with a similar mindset to mine. Thank you so much. Love to you, and so love to Judy, to Daniel, and to Commander, and to Tracie. We'll put it that way, because yeah, these were written for Daniel, but obviously the higher self knows who's going to answer them. So
you restore your own personal power by making the decisions that feel correct for you. Only you can make those decisions as to which direction you want to go in. It would certainly be of assistance to have a QHHT session to understand why you had the heart issues in the first place. Where is it in your life that you cease to experience joy? Just ponder, just go within, and you've already feeling your way by making the lifestyle changes that you said. You're feeling the effects of what you are ingesting. So the ultimate decision comes down to you and what feels right for you. And there are many ways that you can explore alternatives. So make a decision to take a positive step in the direction that you feel guided to do, and simply do it. Everything else will pan out following you making that decision, being back in control of yourself. And be it going the medical road or the non-medical road, staying on the meds, getting off the meds, you do what feels right for you.
wonderful. It's great advice. Okay, another name that's going to be a mind twister for me. Andrzej Stanowski Maja. And that's, sorry about that. I know I butchered that one, but you'll know who you are. Okay. You once said my other current incarnations are spread around the earth like acupuncture needles. Do you have any advice on how to meet another version of me, and how would I know that is them once I meet them? Thanks and love to all.
You could put it out there to meet the other versions of yourself, but you will know because of the frequency. You will recognize the frequency. It's not a question of names, it is frequency. And when you recognize that frequency, you will know it. So by all means, put it out there that you would like to meet at least one other version of yourself and see what happens. You will know.
You might already know another version of yourself.
Well, that's exactly right. Yes, absolutely. If there is such comfort in the presence of that other person, why question anything further? You know, many of us have many, many, many aspects on the planet all over the place at this particular point in time. And it's quite it's a rather interesting concept to behold, because go through the process. Does that person look like me? Is it like a twin-like situation? I don't think that's the scenario, but you will feel them, you will know them.
Here's another thing too, is they're probably going to be at a different stage of their evolution than you.
Yes, true.
So you may or may not like them.
But there will be something about that person that is going
to draw you in. Yeah,
it's absolutely going to resonate. Yes, very definitely.
Okay. Annette Lexor 7275. And again, I apologize to everybody. I'm butchering your pseudo names here. Okay. There's a feeling inside me that I have to do something. It's as if I'm not seeing the bigger picture of my life's journey. Any guidance for me on my, or any guidance for me or my to-do mission?
Many people experience this need, this feeling that there must be something that they have to do. And it becomes, what is it? What is it? What is it that I have to do? And often it is very simply just being themselves. And in being themselves and being true to themselves, they affect many, many people around them. In other words, they're being an example to those that are around, that can gain inspiration by however it is that you present yourself. So I would be going inside and asking the question of yourself, am I just to be, or is there a task? Is there a particular direction that I need to go? Once again, it's putting the responsibility back to you to go within and just simply ask the question, am I just to continue as I am? Because how do you know what you are really doing? It may be your mere presence activates people in a certain way, or somehow ignites something within them. So it's not always a case of going out and doing something. It's often very much a case of just being the best version of you, listening to yourself, following your own inner guidance, following what you're prompted to do. That in itself sets such an example to others around you to trust themselves as well. So go within yourself and ask that question.
Beautiful. I agree. It's a powerful thing. It's very empowering.
Yes, and trust yourself, trust your answers. Don't second guess, just trust what comes. The biggest thing that humanity has, one of the biggest problems, is trusting their own inner guidance. They're always second guessing, always questioning, always asking others, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Just trust it and flow with it.
I like that. Don't look outside yourself for that answer. Yeah. All right. Lyran Starseed Soul Marion. I am wondering, what is my soul's connection to Acturians? They were the first starseed I was drawn to, even though I have been told now that my soul origin is from Lyra. But why am I drawn to Acturians and resonate with them so much? Thank you.
Well, we are all from different beings. Being here on the planet Earth, we have so many different civilizations contained within us. It's no different from the star groups. But maybe it is at this point in time that the frequency of the Arcturians is what you're relating to at this particular point in time. And then it may move on to Palladians or the Lurans or anywhere else. We always are drawn to what we need, to the frequency of what we need at any given time. So if you're identifying with Arcturians at this point, so be it. Just flow with it and receive what you need to receive, align with what you need to align with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there definitely can be more than one connection for you. You might sit on councils for multiple different groups. So there's a lot of things that can connect you to that. So let's go with that other answer where go into a meditation and ask those questions because your higher self knows the answers. Very cool. Okay. Conscious Evolution 37. My kids just lost their grandmother a few months ago and are now having a hard time living with their mother, my ex-wife, due to her spiraling out of control. It's becoming more difficult for my twin boys and for all involved. Very complicated situation. Any guidance on how to best proceed? I usually trust that everything will just work itself out and that we are divinely guided, but my concern grows daily.
There's a little bit more information would have been helpful in understanding the relationship of the boys living with their grandmother or living with their grandmother and mother. Everyone has their own journey, and the boys are experiencing what they have potentially signed up to experience, but they are together and they have each other. And that will help them through this passage at this particular point in time. Showing them your love and support will help them immeasurably. Showing them a safe place to be will help them. But as you so wisely put it, you trust that everything will work out the way it is meant to work out. Trust your own intuition as well as to whether you need to remove them to a safe place. In that situation, only you can determine. So you need to focus on your own intuition regarding what you need to do there. Trust yourself. Absolutely trust yourself and the guidance that you receive.
Okay. I want to add in there, just looking at this while you were tuning into that, Commander. I feel like the ex-wife could really use some love. some love and support. There must have been a closeness there with her mother or something that is causing her to spiral out of control. So can we all just send some love to her and to the boys and to the one asking the question here, because that's a lot to go through, and it is a delicate situation, just as he stated, it's delicate, and there's just a lot of love and support that could be offered there for everyone involved. But yeah, trusting that guidance, knowing if there's a push there to follow it. Very good advice. Okay. Next one, Darlene Socian, energetic educator. There is talk of change and upgrades and moving forward. I feel like I'm trying to keep up with everyone else, and yet all the light workers are figuring it out, having their missions open up, opportunities coming forth, running past me while I'm stuck in the mud, not able to fully do what I came here to do. I don't want frustration to be my main emotion I function from. I'd prefer to be grateful and tapped into my soul and her life. So much to accomplish, yet years go by and here I still am. This doesn't feel like the mission I came here with, my gifts to live. Thank you.
Timing, darling, timing. Not all the light workers, not all the light workers are having everything open out for them. It's timing. It's where every particular person is at, but also it's also about your own particular skills and abilities matching where the populace is at that any given point in time as well. So you might be treading water, but you will know exactly when the world is ready for you. So trust, once again, trust yourself that everything happens at exactly the right time that it's meant to happen.
Yeah. I happen to know Darlene, and I just want to say you're further along than you're letting on here. So don't compare yourself to other people.
No,
you're doing a great job. So thank you. I'm actually glad you got that question, because I do know who she is, and then I might have a little bias with that, but it was so nice to get that fresh answer from you. So thank you so much for that. Okay. User NP1SI. Wow, that's fun. Hania, could you please share some of the ascension symptoms we may anticipate and what is going on in our vibrational fields with these? I recently had nausea over several days, as did some friends, with no logical explanation. A lot of people have been getting kind of sick and having symptoms similar to that. I'm curious, Commander, what you have to say about that?
Well, there are so many energies coming into the planet. There's so many things happening. Or the sunspots is all upsetting our whole equilibrium as we process and learn to integrate those energies. So yes, definitely part of the whole shifting process, isolating it to maybe the sun's activities. Potentially it is. There is so much going on. There is so much shifting and shaking and stirring up, and at deeper levels within us that we're just not aware of. So just be patient with yourself, just be caring with yourself, just be nurturing with yourself whenever these things come along. Moments of dizziness, sleepiness, just absolutely no energy whatsoever. All these things are part of this whole process of shifting and changing, and it can be hard on the physical body as well in order to process all these changes. So just nurture yourself whenever you're feeling a little bit under par with, and it's inexplicable. Be encouraged by the fact that other people around you are also experiencing the same, and just know that it's for our greater benefit. We are working hard on unseen levels in order to shift ourselves into this higher frequency. It's a little bit like the static in between radio stations when tuning. You know, you get full strength and then you try and go to another one, and you get that staticky in between. Well, that's just like what's happening with the body. It's just staticky and it's shaking it up and it's being experienced in different ways until you get into that flow again, and then you're right. So take heart. It's all for our greater good.
Beautiful. And thank you for demonstrating what static looks like. Okay. Sherry, do you see me moving in the near future? Will it be for my highest good?
Sherry, I'm going to throw that back to you. How do you feel about moving in the near future? Does it feel right to do so? Or are you coming from a more, what's the word? Are you coming from a more mental approach about moving? You have to tune in and feel how you feel about this, contemplating shifting. If it feels right, then go for it. Be courageous. It can be opening up a whole new set of experiences and a whole new chapter in your life. If you're doing it from a mental aspect, then have a look at why it is that you are thinking along these lines. Always go by what feels right for you. And if it feels right, go for it.
What do you have to say of, will it be in my highest good?
You will know if it's in your highest good if you follow your gut feeling, your feeling in your heart, your intuition, because your highest good, your highest self, your team does not direct you in ways that is not for your highest good. It is always for your highest good if you trust your guidance.
Yeah, nice. Okay. You guys and your YouTube names are cracking me up because you're making my head hurt. Let's see. I'm just gonna spell it. HAMDINASMELCER 9890. Possible opportunity is in the horizon for my family to move to a different country. I wonder if it is in the divine plan for us. Well, it sounds like really close to what the last question was.
It does indeed. Yes. Once again, I will throw that back to you. Does it feel right?
Yeah.
What is it going to open up for you? If it feels right, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's your very best guide.
Wonderful. All right. Carol Brinkman 6007. What advice or insights does my dad have for me at this time regarding relationships, moving, the rainbow, and the Marna and baby mama and baby deer?
Carol.
And anything else that might be. All right.
Carol.
What does she need to know? Does her dad have a message for her?
Carol, you need to tune in. Okay? This has been a continuing message to you time and time and time again, and I say it with the greatest love, not judgment, nothing else. The greatest love, the greatest gift to yourself is going inward and listening. You can ask your dad anything at any point in time. Trust the answer. Trust what comes through to you. Sit quietly, spend that time and just listen instead of flitting here, there, and everywhere. Just listen. Go inwardly. Trust yourself. You know this. And you're making steps. You are definitely making steps. But we are encouraging you to stop going outward for your answers and go inward. You have them all.
So much going on there. Yeah. And I know Carol's very powerful and she's going to be able to figure all this out. Okay.
Of course she is, but it comes down to the lack of trust in what she's receiving. Just trust it. Trust it. It's for everybody. Trust it.
I'm going to trust that I'm going to say this and butcher it because I don't know when it's all one word. I don't know where the breaks are. Plus and Ajuana 1222. Two. There's 3 2s in there. Okay. Tell me what it is I need to know.
There's a continuing the theme with the commander today, isn't there? You need to listen. That is what you need to know. You need to listen to your higher self, to your team. They are always in communication with you. Listen. Take the time to sit quietly and just listen. If it takes practice, keep practicing. Practice every day. Practice several times a day. Even if it's only for just a minute or two, go within and listen, and you will hear what you need to know.
Absolutely. Okay. This one's from Janice Griffin, 7278. How do I go about opening a stargate, which I am told by Spirit I am tasked to do? Have been working on healing waters and dragon activities. Am a dragon keeper and have a dragon called Bubba. Am also open to the Fey dimensions and have Aura Borealis as my lovely unicorn and also a Pegasus. I love her world. Thanks for sharing all that. So how does she open Stargate? I think is the first part was the question. The rest was just us all going in.
Janice is a very busy person.
Yeah, she's been tasked with the Stargate. How does she open that?
Whew. Well, what is coming to mind is actually just visualizing that Stargate. Visualizing it into creation. Knowing or trusting you are guided to where it is that you need to open that Stargate. The image is that it is quite large. And I'm not having any information about what lies beyond. But simply just imagine it. Create it wherever it is appropriate to do so. And you will know that. You will be guided by your team, all the beings around you, as to where that needs to occur.
I have a question to add to that. That's my own question. When is she supposed to do that? Right?
The human mind loves dates, times, but it is a question of when it is appropriate. And that appropriate time can shift depending on many, many things. So once again, you're going to have to trust yourself when you feel that the timing is right. It's not external. It's not an external, as we perceive time, like a full moon or a solstice or anything like that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for what you're doing here. You have to know, you have to feel when that time is right, and you will feel when that time is right is when you're working with the different energies, the different frequencies around you, and you will know the exact moment when that has to occur. Once again, it will be in perfect alignment.
Wonderful. Okay, so here's some confirmation about how psychic Carol is. She wrote in the comments, I knew you were going to say that.
We love you, Carol.
We do.
And anything we say is from a place of love.
Absolutely. Okay, Delphi DG 1753. I feel like my life is in limbo for the last 3 months. The worst part is my living situation where a neighbor's secondhand smoke is coming into my condo 24/7 and it's making me sick. I don't know if I should just leave the apartment with financial loss or stay and fight to improve things here with no guarantee of succeeding and health risk. What am I supposed to learn here? How to improve this?
Well, there are some practical things that you could do, in as much as having a big fan that blows the smoke back. But if you are not comfortable in your living in your environment, and you are looking for a reason to justify leaving where you are, then why do you need a reason to justify? If you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. You can go down a path that involves other people, other scenarios, or you can simply make the decision.
Path of least resistance is what I'm hearing here. The path of least resistance.
Okay.
You know, the smoke's coming in 24/7 and it's making me sick. Okay, what's the path of least resistance here? What's best? What's best for her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's interesting because, you know, we could get into, sorry, I'm going to have a conversation with you now, Commander. We could get into the debate of, do you stand your ground and fight this neighbor that's smoking, or is the smoker there to
Shift you.
encourage you to choose yourself?
Yes.
And do you choose yourself? Well, let's see. I don't know that there will be a financial loss there. Well, again, you're putting money as a priority over you.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you choose yourself and the path of least resistance, choose yourself, you're going to end up in a better situation. And somehow any financial loss that you may have had because you chose yourself will find a way back to you. And that, in fact, you may end up being better off than you were before. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And I'm not even in a channel right now. I'm just sitting here going,
Well,
you
there is a
it's
human, there is a human response, or there is the gut response.
yeah,
There's a mental response, or there's the intuitive response. And if it's making you sick, it's very easy.
yeah, yeah.
And yes, most definitely can move on to something much better.
I think so. Choose you in this situation. That's what I'm going to say. Choose you. Okay. Donna Harney 419. My daughter has finished her psychology degree in the UK. She wants to progress. She wants to progress to help with autism and mental health in children. Could you advise her purpose and how best to progress?
Once again, it comes back to it. Well, it comes back to her and her choosing the path that she feels is the correct path for her. And whilst as a parent, we want to see our children flourish and moving along in an area that's going to bring success and comfort and everything else. As a parent, you have to, as a parent, it's very hard to step back and let your child, your offspring, go down their own paths. But always remember, their journey is their journey, and they need to experience things in the way that they need to experience, which can be very different from the perception of the parent. So trust that your daughter will be guided in the way that she needs to be guided through her experience with what she's doing. It is her journey. Don't rob her of the opportunity to experience whatever it is that she needs to experience here. Let her make her own way along that path, and she will find what she needs to find. It is lovely that you have the concern for her, and it is difficult to step back, but it's the kindest gift you can give her, is to allow her to explore this for herself.
Beautiful. All right. We have Julie N.
How are we going for time?
Oh, I'm watching your time. You don't worry about it. You're doing great. This is probably your last one. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I have to pick on Commander Judy when I can. Okay. Julie N, please let me know if Commander or my guides can see getting out of this awful living situation I've been in for over a year now.
Julie, just do it. Find
now time for more. Oh, I thought you were done. Okay.
No, find the courage. Just stop putting excuses in the way and just do it. Everything will fall into alignment when you take that step. Just do it. If it's so awful where you are now, why are you putting yourself through this? Why are you doing that to yourself when the option is to just simply go? It will all work out. There might be a little bit of unsettled time in leaving and finding a new one, but you can do this. And when you let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, let go of all the excuses that are keeping you there, imagine how different you're going to feel.
Absolutely wonderful. All right. Let's go ahead and bring Judy back. She is the winner. She got to more questions than I did. Definitely. Thank you, Judy, for doing that. You're a rock star. Getting all those details. There were a few that we didn't get to, and that, it's just, I'm sure there's messages within the messages today that will answer those questions for you as well. So hopefully you're all listening to the whole thing and getting all the messages, because I think they're pretty universal. And thank you, Judy, and thank you everybody who came and who is in the chat room, all kinds of beautiful accolades of thank yous for those messages. And even people popping in saying, oh, I needed to hear that one too. So that's more confirmation that these messages go out to more than just one person, more than the one that
there's always something for everyone.
Yeah, always. All right, you guys, this is where you're going to watch me try to remember, how do I stop the live recording? And so I'm going to say goodbye to Judy and to all of you
Tracie, goodbye, everybody.
in this Zoom connection. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.